This car next to me, the alarm keeps going off. Hello! Welcome to another week of my life. My name is Jenny and I am a reserve flight attendant. Today is Tuesday. I was off yesterday and today, so I just ran a bunch of errands, did grocery shopping, did laundry. Tomorrow I have OPR at noon. OPR is on-premise reserve, where I go sit at the airport for 4 hours in case I need anybody last minute. Today did some meal prepping, but I did some new recipes, so I did not film it because I needed to really focus on what I was doing and I didn't know how they were going to turn out. I got a couple pounds of chicken breast, some Brussels sprouts, and some broccoli. It doesn't look very appetizing, but I promise it is. This is the leftover chicken from last week, so it's actually a red cayenne rubbed chicken. But what I did, everything else, the vegetables and then my other chicken, is all a honey garlic marinade, and I cooked that all together, just a one pan easy peasy thing. I've got strawberries all chopped up and some carrots chopped up and put into baggies, so that way I can just grab and go. For my other meals, which these are probably going to be for lunch and the chicken and vegetables will probably be for dinners, I've got burrito stuff. Sauteed spinach with black beans, and then we've got some ground turkey with one of Trader Joe's salsas. I think it's one of their new ones. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's one of the tropical salsas, and it's got mango, pineapple, peppers, and jalapenos. What I'm going to do is just put all of this stuff into the burrito. That's what I'm about to eat right now. I already have 5 burritos pre-made and already wrapped in tinfoil. And the tinfoil, I mean, this all tastes good cold. I've already tried it all. So in case I can't heat it up, they'll be fine to eat cold. But the tinfoil can go in the ovens on the plane. Those are my meals for this week. It is almost 7 o'clock, so I'm going to eat this and upload last week's vlog. And then I've got music trivia tonight, and hopefully we haven't done too good the last couple weeks, so we're changing our team name and hopefully we do better this week. What's up, you guys? It's Thursday. Yesterday I had OPR and I ended up getting a LaGuardia turn. They called me like halfway through OPR for it, but it didn't actually depart until after my OPR was going to end, which as long as it departs within 2 hours after the ending of the OPR, then we're good for it. Got out of Charlotte like an hour late. Got to LaGuardia still not too late. We had a really strong tailwind, so the flight was only like an hour long, which is amazing. And then we were late getting out of LaGuardia, which there's no surprise there. We didn't end up taking off until an hour after we were supposed to. Well, and then when we got in Charlotte, there were a bunch of storms in Florida, so a bunch of planes were coming in late. Even though we came in late as well, our gate was still occupied. So we sat on the tarmac for probably 15 or 20 minutes before our gate opened up. I didn't get home until 10:30, 10:45. So that 4-hour OPR shift easily turned into a 10.5-hour day. But now it's Thursday and I've got OPR tonight at 7, so I'm about to go work out. I've got my happiness in a can right here, Orange Monster, and I'm just kind of downing this, waiting for it to kick in so I can go attack my legs. Okay, this is my 4th time sitting down to attempt to talk about this. I tried it 3 times yesterday without having my thoughts all written out. It failed miserably. So I have my thoughts written out and we're going to do this before I end the vlog. If you've been following me for a little while now, then you will know that back in like December, January, and February, vlogging was hit or miss for me, and if anybody asked about it, I just said that it was I was just having a lot of personal issues, which was very true. But I did not want to discuss them as I am a very private person. And then in February and March, there were some comments that I let just kind of fly under the radar. And then I just had one the other day that I've been debating whether I should sit down and talk to y'all about all this. Being a private person, I didn't know how I could do it in a way that wasn't giving you every personal detail. But the other day when I got this other comment, I realized that yes, I probably should sit down and confront something, because in my vlogs last year I did talk about my boyfriend at the time, so it wasn't a secret that I had one and that he lived in Michigan and that his name was Tyler. I'm not just going to talk about that, there are some other things going on, but it's going to take a little while, so I'm just going to stop rambling and get started. Basically, I was at a time, probably it was last October, that I was not very happy with life. I was happy with some things, and I was still very grateful for everything that I did have, but I just wasn't happy. Depression is something that I suffered with on and off in college, and I had seen a therapist about it on and off in college, and I had never really had an issue with it since then until October. Well, really it was January, because I was fighting it so hard because I knew I had no reason to not be happy. I am a very positive, happy person, and then once I kind of feel the depression sinking in, it makes it almost even worse that I can't make myself be happy. It kind of became a downward spiral, and I remember specifically one moment where I was sitting in my gym parking lot and I was just having a panic attack, and I don't talk about this very often, but I am a religious person. So I was having this panic attack about what I was going to do in life to be happy again, and I just kind of, I was praying, just kept repeating, like, please just help me even in this moment. And something kind of came over me that I needed to move back to Michigan. I felt called to move back to Michigan, and it made sense to do that. And I found reassurance and peace in that decision. So I started kind of toying around with the idea of when and how I would do it. And then after a couple months, by the time the end of December and beginning of January rolled around, the plan wasn't working, and I had no motivation. I had no motivation to pick up a camera. I had no motivation. It was hard to even get out of bed in the morning. I just didn't want to do anything. I didn't feel like I really had like anybody to turn to. I mean, obviously, like, I have my family, but it's just, I'm also a very independent and stubborn person, so I'd like to be able to sort this stuff out on my own. And so that didn't help the situation at all. I felt very alone, and it was not good. I was in a very dark place. I didn't really tell anybody because of how private and independent and stubborn I am. I didn't want anybody to know. And I definitely didn't want you guys to know, but I didn't want it to be fake to you guys. I couldn't pick up the camera and pretend to be happy when I wasn't. And I was getting a lot of comments about how I didn't seem happy in the vlogs that I was putting up. I knew that. Like, I knew I wasn't happy, but I was trying to be. So to see that you guys were picking up on it too, and some of these comments were not put in a very nice way, I almost stopped vlogging and YouTube altogether because it just was overwhelming. It was very overwhelming. Well, Tyler and I broke up basically at the beginning of January. We weren't really talking, and then by the end of the month, we were no longer together. So that happened. But in February and March, I started meeting more people, and started spending more time with the people that I did know here, just because I needed to force myself to get out and do other things and keep my mind off of how much I felt like my life was falling apart. I genuinely felt like it was all just crumbling out from underneath of me. And I just prayed that I would somehow land at least not flat on my face. If I land on my ass, then at least it's something somewhat cushy. Throughout all of this, I continued to pray and basically persevere, because what else can you do? You just keep going. And about the time that I started, interacting with more people and starting to really enjoy Charlotte. I mean, I've always loved Charlotte, but it never really felt like home. So things were kind of starting to pick up here, and about the same time, my plans to move back to Michigan were also starting to pick up. And it got to the point where come April, beginning to mid-April, I could have moved back to Michigan. And one morning I woke up and I just knew that I didn't want to move back and that I needed to stay in Charlotte, because this was my home now and it did feel like home, and does still. I had to have faith that whatever God had in store for me here, it was going to be better than what I thought I wanted back in Michigan. So I gave up on my own plan and path that I had for myself, and truly I did end up on a better one. I am so ridiculously happy now with the way my life is going, and happy in Charlotte. So, okay, without getting into too much detail, my ex and I, like, that was done and over with in January, and much as I fought it so hard, but somebody else did come into my life, and it felt way too soon for me at the time, but something kept telling me, this man was put into your life at the exact moment that you needed him most. Whether you wanted him or not, he's been put into your life, and I genuinely believe that he has been a godsend. So we are together, and his name is Keith. I don't know yet if he will be in any vlogs. He knows that I do this and he is very supportive of it, but it's still, we are still new, and I am a very private person, so I don't even know if I want to have our relationship put out for the YouTube world to see. Yes, there is a new person, and if you follow me on Instagram, then you will have seen a little picture that I posted of the two of us, of the two of us. I was kind of sneaking it. Basically, I knew that God placed him in my life. I knew it wasn't a coincidence, so I just had to have a little bit of faith. So, rant almost over. Moral of the story is to just have faith or persevere. If you're not a religious person, then persevere. If you are a religious person, pray just all day, every day if you have to. That's what I was doing essentially, and I still kind of am, but now I'm giving a lot of thanks versus help me. That's, if you are religious, that's very important. Like, you can't just rely on the big man to help you all the time. Like, when he does help you, you have to show some respect, because he does work some wonders. So you do have to acknowledge it and give credit where credit is due. If any of you are going through anything hard, it might be hard right now, but I promise it won't be. Even the darkest night has to end and the sun will rise. Take it, just one day at a time. If that one day seems unbearable, then just 1 hour. If that hour seems unbearable, then just 1 minute. Get through just 1 minute at a time. Before you know it, it's 4 months later and life is better. You just have to keep on whatever motto you need to tell yourself. Either keep trucking, keep swimming, keep your head down, keep your eyes up. Sometimes you do have to give up what you think you want then in order to get what you deserve or what God has in store for you. because I promise you whatever he has in store for you is going to be infinitely times better than anything you think you want or anything that you can dream of. Rant officially done. I'm going to end the vlog now, but first, I didn't talk about this in the past 2 vlogs that I had my push-up clips included. If you are unaware of what the following little clip is going to be, I was tagged a few weeks ago on Facebook to do the hashtag 22kill challenge. What the hashtag 22kill is for is to raise awareness of the, on average, 22 soldiers in America that commit suicide on a daily basis. Every day you do 22 push-ups for 22 days, and you're supposed, if you do it on social media, you're supposed to tag a new person every day. So I tag all of you lovely people. If you do want to do this challenge, then let me know, like tag me somehow on your social media. All of my usernames are down below. That is going to play after all of this. I hope everybody has had a wonderful week and that you have made some wonderful memories, and I will see you all next week. Bye! And if you've been following me for a while, then you know this has already happened. I don't know if the first occurrence, if I was vlogging yet, actually.